Hi everyone, it's Melissa, and I am doing a Friday Reads today. It's been a long time since I have had the time to sit down and do a Friday Reads. Actually, it's been a while since I've had time to do any videos, but especially Friday Reads. This Friday Reads is going to kind of do double duty as my March wrap up. So, first things first, I read 6 books in March and February for the BookTube prize, but I am going to put a separate video up on Monday or Tuesday, so early April, to kind of review all of those books. And it's going to be a bit of a longer one, long for me. My videos are typically like 10 to 15 minutes, and this one I think is going to probably be like 30 or maybe a little over 30 minutes. I'm not sure. I have to edit the fun a little bit, but I will put that up in a few days. But what I'll do is I'll put timestamps so that if you're only interested in hearing a review for like one of the books from my pile, then you can just skip to that specific review and not have to watch like 30 minutes of other books that you're not interested in. So that's the first thing. The other books that I read in March are, Not That Bad. That is a essay collection anthology edited by Roxane Gay. The subtitle is, I think it's Dispatches from Rape Culture. So these are essays from a variety of different people, from professors, from actors, from writers, from a lot of different people. People that you've heard of and people that you haven't. And it deals in rape culture in some way, shape, or form. So there are essays on personal experiences and some that are a bit broader. Most of them are personal experiences. And it was, of course, a very difficult read, but I thought it was a phenomenal collection. I don't always get on with essay collections, whether they're from one author or an anthology. But this one I thought was just so well done. So we have experiences that kind of run the gamut of experiences that you can have based in rape culture. So we have people talking about catcalling and like street harassment. We have people talking about sexual assault from people that they didn't know, sexual assault from people that they did know. We have people talking about like family issues, so like trigger warnings for everything, obviously. One of the ones that stuck out to me was, I forget the writer, if she was a lawyer or what her background was, but she definitely had all this legal information, so I think she might have been a lawyer, but it was talking about kind of like sexual assault in context of borders and refugees and people being displaced, and the systems that are set up to make things difficult for them, and things that are set up so they have problems escaping that situation. And that one was, I don't want to say, it was shocking. I don't want to sound naive, because I realize that refugee camps and people who are being displaced by genocide or war, what have you, are that those are not safe places. But the extent to it was certainly eye-opening for me. So anyway, I'll stop going on about this collection, but highly, highly, highly recommend Not That Bad. I also, on the lighter side, read a few middle grade books for middle grade March. I won't talk about them at length because I did a reading vlog that I will link. But I read Sweet by Jonathan Auxier. Auxier? I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. Which I loved. It was so just like magical and really sad, but a bit hopeful. And, you know, it's a middle grade. It didn't end on a downer. But there were hard things in there, and it's about a girl, chimney sweep, who's like 10 or 12 or something like that, and I think she's 12, and she is, of course, living in horrendous poverty in Victorian London, and a little chunk of soot, charred soot that she carries in her pocket, turns into a soot monster, a golem that protects her. And it's just, I just loved it. I also read Bud Not Buddy by, forgotten his name. Christopher Paul Curtis. I'll link all the books below. And this is about a boy who is in the foster care system, and then he's sent with this truly awful family, and he runs away. He's on the lam, as he calls it. It's set in the mid-30s, and he's convinced that this touring musician is his father because his mother had these flyers from this musician in his band. So he decides that he's going to go find his father, and it was lovely. That was also a lovely book. And I also read Wind in the Willows, a classic, and it was just so charming, and I loved the nature writing in it, and it was just like a perfect little spring read. So it was a very successful middle grade reading experience. So that's, I think, everything I read. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I read so many books for the Booktube Prize that I'm trying to remember non-Booktube Prize books that I read. I thought I would be done 2001 A Space Odyssey by now, but I'm still I'm probably only about, maybe like a third of the way through it. I forgot it downstairs. But yeah, I was hoping to be done that by the end of March, but I'll probably finish that up in the next, 3 or 4 days, maybe over the weekend. I don't know. So I'm enjoying that. I can't tell if it's that different from the movie or if there are just things that I forgotten happened in the movie, because I only watched the movie once or twice, and that was like back in middle school. So the last time I saw this movie, I was like 13 maybe. We're at a point where a character has taken a shuttle up to the moon, and we find out why once he gets there, which I won't really say, but he's kind of like on a mission to go to a scientific colony, I guess you could call it, on the moon, and talk to some people there. And I don't remember that happening in the movie. Does that happen in the movie? The only thing that I remember about the movie are the beginning with the apes that I did not understand as a child, which is explained in the book, and I was like, oh, I get this now. Maybe if I watched the movie now as an adult, I would like understand some of the like deeper meaning there, but I did not get it at the time. So I remember that part. I remember the everything with the Hell 9000, because that stuff was like terrified me in the best way possible. And then I remember the end and also being confused. And I won't say anything in case, I know the book and the movie are like from the 60s, and I don't know. I don't think there's a statute of limitations on like spoilers, is there? Maybe there is. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to say anything, but the ending also confused me when I watched that movie. So maybe I'll understand the ending now. Anyway, but I don't remember them going to the moon. Does that happen in the movie? Let me know. So, that's everything I read and am currently reading. I'm also working my way through an essay collection called Little Devil in America by Hanif Abdurraqib. And I don't have much to say about that yet, so I'll just wait until I finished it. And, I wanted to talk a little bit about TBRs. So maybe you haven't noticed, but I have not uploaded a single TBR yet in 2022, and it's going to be no different for April. I am still not uploading a TBR. I have also not been privately doing a TBR either. It's not just that I haven't had time to like upload it. I haven't been setting any TBRs, and there's a couple reasons why. Early in the year, I just I was really kind of like burnt out at the end of the year, and I was just mood reading, which is not very like me. Normally, I set a TBR and I stick to it, and that's that. I am a planner by nature, and I'm not like necessarily a mood reader. Sometimes I do get in the mood for things, but by and large, I can just say, okay, these are the 4 books or 5 books I want to read this month, and that's what I'll read. I've been setting piles of possibilities for different like reading vlogs and stuff that I'm doing. So I helped co-host a readathon in February called the Library Love Readathon, and I set a pile of possibilities and did like a 1 week reading vlog for that. So I've been doing kind of like little snippets of TBRs, but I haven't been setting like a TBR. Okay, I'm going to try to stop rambling about this and get to the point, is that I still don't feel the need to do them. And it's just kind of baffling to me as someone who just always set one and stuck to it. The reason I'm not going to film a TBR or set a TBR for April either is twofold. First of all, as of filming this, maybe I should check my email and see if things have changed, but as of filming this, I don't know if I am going to be judging the next round of the BookTube prize, so I want to leave space in my schedule to fit in those books. So that's one reason I haven't set a TBR. But also, even if I wasn't judging the BookTube prize this round, I also am just not compelled to make one right now. So I don't know if this is just, I'm still kind of in this headspace where I just want to pick things up, aside from like the BookTube prize books that I'm being assigned. So I don't know if it's like a headspace thing. I don't know if it is like a shift in me as a reader. I don't know. I might not be setting monthly TBRs for the rest of the year for all I know. I'll probably stick to doing those smaller ones or like piles of possibilities. I'll probably do TBRs for like readathons that I'm taking part in. Like, you know, when we get to Jane Austen July, I'm sure I will like have the list that I know I really want to read. But I think by and large, at least for now, TBRs are over for me. So it's a weird development because I am a very much make a plan and stick to it type of person. Yeah, it's just odd. I know all the mood readers out there are like, what's the big deal? But it's just a very different way of reading for me. But it's fine. This isn't a TBR, but this is one book that I am hoping to get to in April is Mort. They being Rosie, Kevi, and Katya, they all did a read-along of Mort in March, but I just couldn't fit it in my schedule. So I would really like to get to it just on my own because it is the next chronologically for me in the Discworld series. So I guess a TBR of 1. And the last thing I wanted to mention is some of the movies I've been watching. In another video at one point, I forget which one, I had talked about the fact that I want to watch more movies in general because I feel like I get on one or two hobbies and I kind of ignore other things. And I like watching movies and I haven't watched any for a long time. And I especially, even when I do watch a movie, it is an old favorite. I never make time to watch anything new. So at the beginning of the year, or near the beginning of the year, I had made a list of 15 movies. I thought that was doable, a little over one a month. And I thought I can fit that in. 15 new to me movies. So when I say new movies, new to me movies, I set this at 15 because I thought that was doable. And also, I don't want to only be watching new movies. I do want to leave room still for the favorite movies that I want to watch. And I have kind of like a non-formal kind of just in my head list of some movies that I want to rewatch that I haven't watched in a while. But I am happy to report that I have now watched 2 movies from that list of 15. I'll read the 15 off real quick in case you missed that other video, in case you're interested. It was Mad Max Fury Road, Alien, A Streetcar Named Desire, 12 Angry Men, The Apartment, Citizen Kane, All About Eve, The Hunger Games, The Godfather, The Fugitive, Edge of Tomorrow, Black Panther, Sense and Sensibility, Spirited Away, and Unforgiven. And I watched The Fugitive. I really liked The Fugitive. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked like the mystery aspect, trying to figure out who the culprit really was and why. But recently, I watched that one a month or 2 ago. But recently, just in the last week, I watched 12 Angry Men. And I loved this movie. I loved it. If you're not familiar with 12 Angry Men, it's like a closed room movie. Is that what they're called? I don't know all the trope names. But it's essentially 12 men. It's a jury of 12 men. And the whole movie is them in the jury room, like sequestered, trying to reach a verdict on this murder charge. And if this boy, this 18 or 19-year-old who's on trial, is found guilty, he's going to like go to the electric chair. And there's a lot of like evidence seemingly against this young man. And so they're like, oh, we're going to be in and out of here, no problem. And let's just put it to vote. Like, we know the evidence. And it's 11 people say guilty and one person says not guilty. And it's like the whole movie is them going over the evidence again and again and again, finding if there are flaws in the evidence. And like a lot of stuff is like legally incorrect in this movie. They do things that are like not legal in like actually trying to figure out what happened, which anyway, this isn't a movie review channel, but I freaking loved this movie, and I'm just like, I'm so happy that I made time to watch it. So those are 2 off of my list of 15 that I've watched, The Fugitive and 12 Angry Men. And then I watched 2 new to me movies that weren't on my list. My husband and I watched Rashomon, which is from the 50s. I think 12 Angry Men was from the 50s as well. I can't remember what year that came out. But Rashomon is, I don't know if it's the first or one of the first movies that used like retelling the same story but through different perspectives. So there's this murder, and we get the story retold from everyone's who was there as a witness or anyway, multiple times. And I don't think I like this one as much as 12 Angry Men, because I really like 12 Angry Men, but I liked that I left Rashomon really kind of going over each narrative in my head and trying to piece together for myself what I think really happened. And yeah, another success. And the last movie I've watched was the biggest success of all. I've watched it twice now. This was for family movie night. My daughter wanted to watch it. And then the next week we watched it again. I love it so much. Encanto. You know, everyone knows about this movie now. This movie like affected my soul. Like, I don't know what it is about Disney, like animated features. I mean, some are better than others, but every few years there's one that just like speaks to me. And this one, the music was incredible. I love the characters. I love the fact that there's no villain. This is just families, right? Every family has its problems, and it's just families trying to like figure things out, and it's about family expectation and like generational trauma, and it's just like, it was like the most beautiful. I don't know what new techniques they've invented for animation, but there was something, they must have some sort of new method for doing something, because it looked so gorgeous. I can't get over the music. I've been listening to the soundtrack over and over again. I can sing you, I won't because I have a horrible singing voice, but I could sing you front to back that whole soundtrack. I love it. I love it. You know how like your favorite, if you have a favorite Disney film, it's usually one from your childhood because there's a nostalgia there. I mean, the ones from my childhood, like, they still have that special place in my heart, and they'll never be like dethroned in that way because there's so much nostalgia and memory surrounding them. But I have to say, I think Encanto might now be my favorite Disney film of all time. I just can't deny the fact that it's the best Disney movie I've ever seen. It was beautiful. Just watch it. That was aggressive. You should watch it. It's very lovely. Anyways, I think that's all the updates. That's everything I've read, am reading, and have watched. And I hope everyone is doing really well. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.